Hello everyone, this is Zeba. Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay,
Ziva.
Yes.
Yes,
so
Ziva.
I think I'm
Hi.
audible. So, welcome to our Lean Six Sigma Green Belt program. Before I start, a small introduction about IMC. IMC is a leading global provider of learning and instruction for professional qualifications. Our main motto is to connect students all over the world to the best of instructors. What we do. We do everything that has to do with improving the performance of an individual. We provide training programs as well as consulting services. What we offer. We basically offer training programs and skill developing certifications, which includes Lean Six Sigma, supply chain management, project management professional, total quality management, and so on. We are affiliated with the highest industry standards. We are affiliated with CPD, Continually Professional Development, based out of UK, CSSC, Council for Six Sigma from USA, IQF, International Quality Federation from USA, and we are also ISO certified. We are also approved by ACTWIT. ACTWIT is Abu Dhabi Center of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, who is a government body that regulates educational institutions. We are also partnered with ISEL Global, Limoon, Fazza, and Naukri Gulf. We are also associated and partnered with an internationally recognized and globally present. We have catered over a large number of students from Canada, USA, the whole of Middle East, India, Philippines, and so on. Meet our team. Mr. Mohammad Sajjad, General Manager, Deepa Meghwani, Quality Head, Shashank Pandey, our Product Head, and our Academic Director, Farhan Ahmed. This is our extended team who you have probably directly communicated once with already, right? We have our sales team here along with the operation team. Thank you and a warm welcome once again for joining us today. I will now hand over the session to our trainer, Mr. Shashi, who will introduce himself and take over this event. Thank you.
First of all, very good morning to everyone who are in the morning time zone, and the ones who are in evening time zone. Very good evening to everyone. Uh, uh, we'll just quickly get started with this session. Uh, First of all, let me give a quick introduction about myself. My name is Shashi Prakash, and yeah, before we go ahead, just want to be sure. Uh, am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Perfect,
Yes.
perfect. All right, yeah. So I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, and for I have roughly 19 plus years of work experience. Uh, for good 14 years, I was engaged with the corporate sector. I've worked for like clients like American Express, managed their quality compliance, audits, legal stuff for them for U.S. and Australian Amex, and like we worked for some of the MNCs until 2014. But yes, post that, I have been actively engaged with reference to Lean Six Sigma only. That's the only area I specialize in. So since then, I've been doing management training and consulting in the Lean Six Sigma sphere. If I talk about my current engagements, again, thanks to COVID situation, things are standstill. But yes, we still have some Lean Six Sigma consulting work happening remotely, virtual mode. But yes, that's a wonderful thing that we have been able to explore now. So we are working on some publication houses out of Europe, some in Qatar. So yeah, we are trying to like the consulting work is going on. That's what we work with. Most of the clients in Middle East and in Europe, like specifically in Greece and Germany. Uh, Other than this, like if I talk about my engagements with reference to the institutions within India, I've done similar trainings for IITs, IIMs. We've covered almost all of them. Various petrochemical universities, various management colleges, engineering colleges. I'm actively engaged with Qatar University for all their trainings for government officials and for the corporate. It happens through Qatar University only. And actually, we're going through a Qatar University training for Lean Six Sigma programs there. Now, like so far, I would have trained roughly over 5,700 participants on various belts of Six Sigma, like starting from a white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, and master black belt. So we'll learn about all those belts, what are the roles as we go ahead. So that's pretty much what I do. Like just want to make sure that we understand I come from a service industry background, uh, and the kind of clients that we cater to would come from technically every possible sphere that you can think of. We cater to automotive industry, deal with textile, we deal with healthcare, hospitality, oil and natural gas, IT. uh, Honestly, trust the industry, and we have worked there. We provide the services. Now, a big question definitely comes in. Like I come from a service industry background, having no functional knowledge about these various industries, various departments, domain. How am I able to do it? Or not just me, everyone in the Lean Six Sigma sphere. How are we able to do like render our services in these different industries, about which we have technically zero competency or any functional knowledge? And that is the beauty of Six Sigma. So when we deal with various stakeholders like CEOs, CXOs, CTOs, and every industry, every organization has some kind of challenge, like business problems. Could be related to quality, cost, could be customer satisfaction, could be various business problems. And there are various tools which are available already in the market, which can be used to solve the business problem. So we have those ISOs. You can use your project management, you can use ITIL, Agile. You can use a lot of frameworks to solve the business problem. Fortunately, Six Sigma happens to be one of the primary choice for most of the stakeholders, just for because it fits in everywhere. It is not an industry dependent skill. It is not dependent on what kind of department you work in. It's not. It's independent of the job role that you are in. So yes, if you are an operations person, you can start doing a project in marketing. You can do a project in HR. You can do uh, projects anywhere. So whatever maybe your domain, your background, honestly, it doesn't matter, because you are trying to learn a different skill set which will make you universal. You will be desired by everyone, and it's just about mastering the skill of Lean Six Sigma. We'll know why we are able to kind of render services everywhere, and what is the logic behind it. But that's why it will increase your chance of doing well in your career by multiple times. People are leveraging it, so I would strongly like recommend everyone to make the best out of this session. Uh, if like I'm just not a trainer, like training is one part of it, but because we do these Six Sigma projects real time, real world, we deal with the challenges. I would like to ensure that the training, the way we go through the training, the content that we go through, it's designed in such a way that we try to understand the real implementation, how a real Six Sigma project will be carried out in a real world, where we have a business problem, when we want to implement a Lean Six Sigma project, how it needs to be done. See, I don't want you all to just get just another paper certificate, which just gets added on the resume, and probably we do nothing with it. You all have taken out your valuable time. So in order to ensure that yes, we get to that level, and we so that we leverage this additional skill, which will continue to get better with time. The more you practice, the more confidence you gain in this industry. It's very important that we ask questions. We're not facing each other, we're not sitting in a classroom. In live virtual class, based on the experience since the time this COVID situation has emerged, the only thing I have understood and realized that, yeah, the more you ask question, the more you engage during a live session, uh, the more you actually get to learn, because one question of yours could be someone else's question also. If you don't ask a question, technically you probably wait for somebody to ask the question, the purpose will get defeated. So I would strongly recommend ask questions. See, there's no question which is not meaningful. Every question is important. So let's get out of this first mindset. Yeah, whether I should be asking this question or not. There's nothing called a stupid question, honestly. Every question is important. You may ask a question, it's quite possible I may be going to explain that concept in some time. I will let you know that this is what we will be covering up in some time. In case that needs to be explained right then and there, I will pitch in. I'll make sure that it's explained. But asking question is very important. So yes, that's the only expectation I have from everyone. So during the training program, please keep your mic on mute. Having said that, if you have question, please unmute yourself, or you have a chat option. You can use the chat to ask your question. But yes, I would love to see engagement coming from the participants. We have got a big like audience, and that's when it makes gets even interesting. When you have good audience, we've got people from diverse industries, different job roles. That's when it becomes more interesting, and we will be able to make the best out of it. So do I have a commitment from everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
yeah,
That sounds like a plan. And we can get started. So yes, before I like again, sort of, I will take another quick couple of minutes to talk through something before we get going with the concept and the training part of it. Uh, Let me quickly show you what a Lean Six Sigma sample project would look like. This is what I would love to see, as like you should be able to develop the competency level, so that by the end of this training program, you should be able to translate the knowledge and the skills, whatever you learn, into a real project. Because if you are able to do this in as a simulation project, you will be able to solve the project like any problem. You will be able to implement the project in real world. So biggest concern in this Lean Six Sigma sphere, in the training fraternity, when we specifically talk about people who have taken up the Six Sigma training, what happens thereafter again? So a when we talk about job related factor, see, there are a lot of companies where they do not have a Six Sigma culture. Now when you sit through a job interview, the recruiter is looking for a couple of things. A, you are certified or not. Yes, you've gone through the training, you'll pass the certificate, you get the certificate. Bottom line, that is taken care of. Second expectation from the recruiter across the industry is, do you have experience of working on a project? Now say we do not have any experience, we have never worked on a Six Sigma project before. So that's absolutely fine. Every recruiter understands not everyone would have a Six Sigma culture in their organization, so probably they have just taken the training. But do you have a idea, or do you have experience of working on a simulation project? If you have that knowledge of working on a simulation project, at least you know the knowledge that you gain is just not theoretical. You know how to execute it. So while you would be given a data, you can instantly work on it and perform certain analysis that we do. So these like, let me quickly show you a sample project. This is how I'm just talking about a simulation one. This is not a real one, but that's how a real world project would also look like. Yeah. This is created by one of the participants again. So the data I will be able to provide you the data. That's what I would love to hear from you. You can work on the project. That's how a project would sort of look like. Like you can don't like ignore the art sort of thing. Yes, but the concept wise, you would have different stuff. It's all about data driven stuff that you will be dealing with. We'll go through all this, but yes, technically. Uh, this is the level of competency I would love to see by the end of the training session. You can parallelly work on it. Like once your training program is over, I'll share some data with you. You all can work on it and share the project, and I don't have a problem reviewing the project, giving you a feedback. So that's what my expectation is. So just not another paper certificate, because there are tons of training program. We take up a lot of trainings. Honestly, I have taken some trainings like that also, which I have never utilized in my life. But yes, uh, I don't want that to happen to anyone for that matter, at least when we talk about Six Sigma. So I strongly recommend every participant to take this pain, get this simulation project, and these are good enough to put on your resume that yes, we have done a simulation project in, say, reducing the time related factor, quality related stuff. Bottom line, at least you give confidence to the recruiter that yes, uh, this person knows how to do it. So it's just not theory. If the person knows how to execute it, probably not in the real world, but yes, that's what you will be doing. You give them the data, the person will start working on it. That's what you're supposed to do in the real world also. So that's how a project would look like. I'll be sharing some material with every one of you. So like the team from IMC will be sharing that. So I will be sharing all this material with them in turn, that they will have it circulated. We all are on the WhatsApp group. In case you are not on the WhatsApp group, please connect with your respective program coordinator to have you added on the WhatsApp group. So we will use that WhatsApp group to stay connected during the training and after the training also. In case anyone has any questions, queries, don't wait for the training to happen, and or even after the training you have a question or query. I'm more than happy to go and assist you should you need help. So do use that as a platform to stay connected, ask questions, and that's how we all learn. I'm going to learn a lot of things from you all. So it's just about a knowledge sharing session that we're going through. So let's get started. Again, that's what we have. So I will be sharing some material with every one of you. So this is what you will be getting from the IMC team. One, some data files. It's all about data driven stuff. So all the material that we'll be using during the training program, it's all in here that we will be using during the training. So that's all what we have here. Other than this, there is simple sample file for working on a simulation project. This data for IT ticket closure time, that's there, which we will be using during the training. The same data was used by one of the participants, and that's the sample project. So you know how it should look like. So you have a copy of it. You can also start working on it, and it will share some other data also. So you can look into that also. That is also an option. So I will be able to share some additional data. There are some notes that I have prepared. You all must have actually received the training material from IMC. But having said that, when you look at that with your that is your actual reference material, you should refer to that. But basis that reference material, I have created some bullet points, and that's what I will be using during the training to navigate through various content. This you will be also getting, which I'll be using during the training. So when you get this link from the IMC team, you will get the entire material. You can just get it downloaded, and we'll continue to share some more material as and when you need. And like we will be able to kind of exchange that. Like if you have it as some, if you need something, whatever I can get a hold of, probably some books, good books on Six Sigma or something, like whatever, I will keep sharing that with you all. So that is pretty much to get started. Uh, I will be making some notes, but having said that, I will strongly recommend everyone to make your own notes also. The notes that I will be making, I will share with the IMC team, and in turn, they will share it with you all. So you will get the notes that we're working on, whatever I use Excel for making notes because there will be a lot of calculation, and that's why I prefer Excel. So I can use it for writing, I can use it for calculation purposes. So you all be getting the whatever notes I prepare. But yes, prepare your own notes also because you can relate with your notes better than anyone else. So yeah, having said that, you get this copy also what we work on. So whenever the training gets over, I'll email the material, the notes to them, and they will in turn circulate with you all. So I hope we all are okay with it, whatever we have discussed. In case you have any question before we get started, we can just take it up. Any questions with reference to your course or material, anything?
Will the video of this class be available?
Absolutely, yes. This class is being recorded, and every class will be recorded. It's been recorded on the server, now cloud server. So yes, IMC team will be sharing the link for you all to download, or like there's some way they will be able to share that. So yes, you all participants do get the videos. Like
All right.
Is it important that one should have knowledge on yellow belt like this?
no,
Because
no, 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 absolutely not. So be rest assured, again, we started from day zero, and we'll understand what would somebody learn at white belt level. So that's the first level of Six Sigma, white belt. then we have a yellow belt, then we are talking about green belt. So actually what somebody would learn in a white belt, what somebody would learn in a yellow belt, technically that automatically gets covered in the green belt. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
uh, do we require any knowledge in the mathematics like statistics
No,
and all these things?
absolutely not. So yes, we will be using a statistical software which is Minitab. Now that's what I would be sharing. That's what I would be sharing a link with every one of you. Let me quickly open this up. So globally, when we talk about Six Sigma, people use Minitab. Corporates, and trust, this is a huge demand in the corporates that we people are looking for like professionals who have expertise in using Minitab. This is the most advanced statistical software that we have. It comes with a 30 days free trial version. You can fill in this form. It's a very simple stuff. I can just fill in the form. You will be able to receive a link to download the setup file. It's a very simple thing. You don't need any like any special attention like help to get that installed. Now once you install it, you'll have it for 30 days, which will be good enough for you to kind of use during your training and even after that till 30 days. So it's a paid version, paid thing, so it comes with a 30 days free trial, so it will be more than enough for the training purposes. Now organizations wherever you join, they have the paid version. So yes, so that's what they look for, people who know Minitab. We do trainings for a lot of corporates specifically on Minitab. They have gone through Six Sigma training, but yes, how to work on Minitab? Why? Because for two primary reasons. See, about a decade ago, people with good statistical background were the ones who were getting into Six Sigma because it's all about data-driven analysis. You people like must have good statistical, mathematical knowledge to do Six Sigma. Yes, that was the culture about a decade ago. But things changed thanks to this kind of software. Anyone and everyone can get into Six Sigma. Yeah, you should have logics clear. We will be talking about statistics also. We will be taking up a portion of statistics. Now, sort of a quick disclaimer, like in the very beginning, it's not a statistics course. We all will become project managers. We'll be managing projects, a green belt project, or somebody, if he wants to go for a black belt later on, a black belt project for that matter. We are not statisticians. We are project managers. We will be using statistics as a tool to take a business decision. We don't want to become get into a PhD of statistics. No, none of us want to do that. Even in case somebody wants to do that, trust to learn statistics, again, at least I can tell about myself, it will take at least 6 months of rigorous study. I must study at least 2 to 3 hours every day for good 6 months to get a clear understanding of statistics. It's a very intense topic. Yes, you need a special book, like probably a detailed book, which can take you through the details of statistics. So yeah, what we will be picking up some portion of statistics. So that we know what kind of statistical analysis needs to be done. So that knowledge has to be there. When we perform the statistical analysis using this Minitab, it will generate some output, how to read that output, and then what decision should we take. So yes, it's going to be a tool which we will use for analysis. Now how did the calculation happen? Sort of out of scope for us, because we are not getting into the research work. Yeah, we should know the right test to be performed, how it needs to be performed, and what decision should we take thereafter. Yeah, if somebody still wants to know how do we like what are, because it will publish a lot of information. Now if we're still interested to know how the calculation happened in the back end, well, that's again, as I said, out of scope, but I can definitely share some books on statistics should you want to learn. Like once you're done with the training, it will be a journey that you will start a new journey should you want to get into the research bit of it, how the calculation happens, what maths goes around it. Yeah, I can share some books on good books on stats which you can refer later on, but it will be out of scope for the training duration. Any which was, it can't be covered during this short term period of training. And technically it won't be required. Is it like good to know information? Definitely yes. Is it need to know? I would say no. So yes, for the training, let's concentrate on this. And thanks to these softwares, it has made life easy. Job is the results that we get are absolutely correct. The work which used to take hours and hours, probably days, can be done in 2 clicks. That's it. It prepares a report. It generates a lot of stuff. The best software, very handy. easy, user friendly. If you like, so this is not that you only have Minitab in the in this arena. You can do such analysis on SAS. You can do it on Excel. There are a lot of other softwares. MATLAB. You have JMP. Now, technically, there are a lot of softwares. But if you use Minitab once, you will not use anything else thereafter. There are two polls about. So probably the second best in this list would be SAS, SPSS. Now, if I use SPSS and if I use Minitab, they are two poles apart. Like so the second best is too far off. So yes, I'm sure when you start using Minitab, you will fall in love with this. There's nothing comparable with Minitab as of now, and that's why Lean Six Sigma professionals, everyone they use Minitab. So I would strongly, we will be using this because we're talking about doing the statistical analysis. So yes, we'll learn this. It will be more of an experiential way of doing it. I would want you to also practice. I will share the data I have. You will have access to the videos. You should perform, get used to Minitab. It is need of the hour. You don't want to be living in the old traditional world. Because you got to live with the current trend, what's demanded in the market. That's what is required. So yes, I will be preferred. I'll technically be working on the Minitab, and we'll be using Minitab for analysis. I hope that's clear to everyone.
Yeah, one more question, sir.
Yeah, please, please.
In your recent slides, I saw that the one should have the knowledge on 7 quality tools. So is it required that we
No,
have?
no, we will be covering it up. We will be doing it. 7 quality tools. So again, technically, I need somebody. When we're starting right now, we are starting from zero, absolute zero, and we learn everything. So we will be covering 7 quality control tools. We'll be learning stats also. We'll be talking about project management. We'll learn about everything. So everything gets covered in the entire course, and it's not difficult. Some of them we will be using Minitab. Minitab will take care of the 7 quality tools. Okay. Any questions, anyone else, before we get started?
Yes, sir. Can we do the mini-tab job in Excel?
Uh, s- some portion of it, yes, but not all of them. So yes, we will try to kind of use Excel in between. That's why I use Excel for calculation. But a lot of things cannot be done on Excel. Excel is definitely trying to pick it up big time, but again, it's gonna take time. But a lot of things cannot be done on Excel. Hence, we prefer like Minitab.
Right, because we know Minitab is only a trial version for 1 month. After that, we have to pay $1,600.
Okay, so yeah, so corporate level, they generally buy a lifetime license, which is that like corporates do use. So wherever we work, wherever we join, like pretty much uh, they have a licensed version, and that's what they expect somebody who knows how to use it.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
perfect.
I have one more question.
Yes, yes, please.
For
Yeah.
the presentation, for example, can we gain access to those material in order to follow up with you?
The presentation, yes, the ones which I'll be using, these
Yeah.
slides, you'll be getting. So this entire folder, whatever we have in this folder, the slides that I'll be using, the files that it's all this entire folder, you will be getting access to it. So like I'll be sharing these files with the IMC team today itself. So they will in turn email that to you all, or they will be like we'll be sharing through Google Drive somewhere, like, and you will get access to everything. So technically, whatever I have, it's all for you. Simple as that.
Perfect. Perfect. Just in order to follow up with you while you're explaining.
Absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. No hassles. Yeah. So knowledge is to share. So there's nothing to hide here. Yeah, perfect. Thanks for asking. Like, so yeah. So should you have any question, please do not hesitate. Uh, is that okay with us? Like then we can get started now.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes, please.
and having said that, if you feel the pace is high, or if you feel it's too fast, do let me know. I'll slow down in terms of pace or of content or the rate of speech also. If you feel it's high, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to kind of, so feedbacks are very important, and it helps you to get better. All right, so let's get started first. So first thing first, let's understand the basic definition of quality. Now, when we talk about quality, what do we mean by quality? And you can use unmute yourself, or you can use the chat option. What is your understanding of quality?
Working with the highest standard to achieve customer expectation.
Okay,
Fulfillment the requirement of customer.
fulfillment. So fulfillment
Customer needs.
of customer needs. Okay, perfect. What else? Anything else comes to your mind? Well, there's no definition which is wrong here. So I got a couple of definitions and they're correct. Both of them are correct.
Yeah, delivering the services with zero defect or a minimal defect.
Okay, delivering the service with zero defect. Perfect. Yes, that's quality.
Quality also can be meeting the expectations.
Absolutely, yes, meeting the expectations. So,
Basically related to value of for money as well.
okay, yes, absolutely, without any doubt, value for money. So, whatever the customer pays for is the quality. Again, customer would not pay for the defect. So, yes, technically, yes.
So quality is a high standard according to me, sir.
Okay, yes, absolutely. High standard. You want to maintain standards, that's quality. So perfect. So see, technically we all know this. This is what it is means. So we cannot go wrong with this definition. Yes. So again, if I look at various books, how people have explained, different people have explained method of explaining it differently. The concepts are same, and different people, different authors have different way of explaining it. So ideally, if I would like to say, it's going to be one of them. So it's all about meeting the customer expectations. Why? Because quality is defined by customer. Customers will have different expectations. Say, if I go to a coffee shop, so the reason why I'll be using very, very generic examples, day-to-day life examples, so that we all can relate with it, because we come from different background. And if we understand the concept, then there is no looking back. So let's take a simple example. Say I'm running a coffee shop and I want a cappuccino. Now, the definition of my quality would be different. I may need a different kind of coffee, and some other customer might need a different kind of coffee. So, definition of good coffee would vary from one customer to another. So, who defines quality? The quality is always defined by the customer. The customer decides this is what I want. If you meet those expectations, then it's quality. For one customer, probably extra sugar would be a good product. Somebody might prefer without sugar. That's what the person would look for. So definition of quality would vary from customer to customer, and customer defines what is quality. And if you're meeting those expectations, that's when I would say, yes, that's quality product. Otherwise, the customer would feel that, no, this is not what meets my expectation. So all your answers are correct. So we're not trying to find a perfect answer. There's nothing called a perfect answer. Different ways of different people have different ways of explaining things. This was very, very vague or very, very challenging matter initially when the evolution of quality happened. I think people started kind of rating things. Say, I wanted a product and I wanted a good product. Now, technically, what is the definition of good? I need, say, I'm looking for a marker. I need a good marker. Now, that good could not be quantified. Well, that's where the biggest problem arises. Like, so people started different customers had different expectations. So the problem is that until unless you can quantify something, it cannot be measured. It can't be improved. You can't assess whether what is the definition of good. So things evolved over a period of time. People started kind of giving better definitions. Now, I would say the father of quality is where I would sort of add here. Father of quality is Joseph Juran, or as idly. This gentleman introduced the sort of first definition of quality, like a polished definition. He stated that a product can be called as a quality product if it meets two requirements. So as of it, there are two requirements which must be met by a product or service to be called as a quality product. Now, first requirement, it should serve the purpose for which it was created. Now, can you sort of what do you mean out of this? It should serve the purpose for which it was created. Anyone wants to pitch in? What does it mean? Like, what meaning do you derive out of it?
The core objective?
Absolutely, yes. Okay, well, let's take a simple example. I manufacture a fan, and the customer expects the fan to give you AC kind of feeling. No, that's not possible. The customers can be unrealistic. So you cannot keep on, then you will not probably mark yourself down as you are making a bad product. A fan is supposed to give you the feeling of a fan. You cannot get air conditioned kind of feeling with a fan. So yes, till the time a product meets the expectation, like serves the purpose, if it's a fan, yes, it should give you the fan kind of feeling. Yes, that's when I will say it's a quality product. It should serve the purpose because customers can be unrealistic. So as per his definition, yes, it should serve the purpose for which it was created. That qualifies for the criteria for quality. Second, give only and give so much to the customer that he or she would value. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, what does this mean? Just think about it, like sort of probably if you can try to find some instance, like some example to kind of explain this. Anyone?
Fit customer expectation.
I'm sorry? Sorry.
For example, if somebody is connected to data, correct, and they are paying data, say they want a data, if it is 100 Mbps speed, it should be there so that they can connect and say do the things properly, right? If the data is if the bandwidth is low, they will have a problem in that case, correct?
Yes, they will have a problem. We're trying to say that give so much to the customer that the customer would value.
So, so at least whatever they have paid for, it should be given to them so that if their requirement is set by 100 Mbps bandwidth, they can at least have that kind of bandwidth with them.
Okay. Okay, let me put it other way around. So probably let me give you another example and let's try to understand the essence what Joseph Juran wanted to kind of convey here. I go to market and I want to buy a shirt, and this guy tells me that, well, you can get the shirt for $100. That's what is the price of the shirt, and for one shirt you will get 10 other shirts free. Well, you and the same color, same size, 10 shirts free. So you pay for one shirt, which is say for $100, and you get 10 shirts free.
No, I will tell him, take your 10 shirts and I will pay only $10.
Technically, yes. Well, that sounds fishy. Isn't it? Like, so I needed only one. You're charging for one and you're telling me that you will get 10 shirts free. That's like giving too much, and even that's too good to be true, and I will start doubting it. Probably the material is bad, probably the quality or something is wrong, something is fishy. So even if you try to give too much to the customer, that also would be treated like as a bad thing. Let's take another example. Probably you will also probably be able to relate. Say you go to some sort of fine dining restaurant. Now you're trying to spend some good quality time with your family and friends, and like this waiter would take you to and show you the seat, will make you seated, offer you the menu, is standing right next to you to take the order, and you've given the order, and the moment you've given the order, he goes to the kitchen, and very next, like within a couple of minutes, he's back with the order, and he's just standing next to you and trying to wait while you're trying to have your food. uh, he's just standing next to you on your head. Why? Because he's trying to be there to help you. What if you need something? So I'm right there. Would you be happy with what are the problems do you see in this entire scheme of things? What problems do you see?
I feel like
Some
the product was already ready and immediately he served it. So maybe
So
the
it's not
quality is
fresh.
bad. It's not
Yes.
fresh.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. It's a fine dining restaurant. So that means it must take some time. It should prepare things fresh. So how come this gentleman got into the kitchen and it's very next minute he's getting it? Probably it's a stale food. Probably somebody gave an order, canceled it, and he's trying to serve me the stale food. One, that's what is doubtful. Second, He's standing on my head while I'm trying to have my food. I understand that you're customer centric, you want to help, but don't stand on my head. Again, let me have the conversation, the peace of mind. I want to spend time with my family while I'm eating. It's like poking in my getting into my privacy. I don't want that too much. That's too much to handle. So yes, give only so much what the customer would value. Otherwise, it will start irritating the customer. So a product should, as per this was the definition which Joseph Juran introduced, and it worked fine. It worked fine. People at least got some sort of formal definition for to ensure that the product and services are kind of designed to meet these two expectations. It worked fine for some time for sure. Then again, we're just trying to see the evolution, and we'll get to the Six Sigma, by the way. So that's what is leading. So in real world, see, technically in a Six Sigma project, you will not be getting into this history per se, but during recruitment process, some recruitment, like some people do get into all this stuff. So yeah, from that perspective, we should know a little bit of whereabouts of that. So yes, this happened. It worked fine. Then came force. So not the force, push theory. This push theory got into the market where this was driven by the economists, the people who drive economies, what this push theory used to say: as a manufacturer, you must produce as much as you can, and it will create a demand in the market on its own. Yes, it worked. People used it. So as a manufacturer, it's your responsibility to manufacture as much as you can. The more you pump in the product in the market, people will have no choices. Well, sooner or later, it will create a demand and people will end up buying it. Yes, one point in time, it was okay. It worked fine for some time. Earlier,
This is Chinese philosophy, sir.
I'm sorry?
This is Chinese philosophy.
Not not the Chinese philosophy, but yes, this philosophy push theory was adopted somewhere around 1930s time frame, 1920 to 1930, 35 time frame. It was when people were getting to industrial revolution. People used to, the manufacturer used to kind of pump in product in the market. There were less companies. It was manufacturer driven market. Customer driven market, there was nothing called customer is the king. Now customer desires something and you must deliver that. It's an unforgiving market. Customer has so many choices. So it's the gone are those days. Again, I'm sure we all can talk about big brands. I'm sure you all have some examples of big brands which had complete monopoly in the market, but you don't see them today. Can you name some big brands, complete monopoly? You don't see them.
Nokia was
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Nobody would have ever thought this is going to happen to Nokia. It's like omnipresent, everyone. So at least everyone would have used Nokia at one point in time. They were so big. They never thought they would be challenged or this could have ever have happened to them. It happened to them. You talk about BlackBerry, only the business phone that we probably used. Business professionals, corporate world, we always use BlackBerry. We talk about, uh, for that matter, Motorola. It's, it doesn't. It's not. Doesn't. It's not there. We talk about Xerox, the photocopier. You talk about Kodak. Well, these brands were big brands, but at that point in time, there were no choices available to the customer. So whatever was served to them was supposed to be consumed by the customer. Somebody needs something, you had no choices. You had to pick it up. That's it. But yes, things changed. Things changed, and it the new logic, because the market is changing. It's a dynamic market. Market changed the entire logic. Customer became the customer, like if the customer variety is changing, the paying capacity is changing, the trend is changing, and that's when the customer became the king over a period of time. So to understand the current dynamics, the Kano model was, Kano is the name of the person, is a Japanese guy who introduced this Kano model. It actually explains the current definition of quality, which is what ideally is driving the entire quality definition. He said that a product ideally should be looking into three elements: unstated needs of the customer, stated needs of the customer, and delighters. If a product meets all these expectations, your product will be called as a quality product. You will be probably the best in the market. That's how. Now, what are these expectations? Unstated needs, stated needs, and delighters. We will come back because that is where our Lean Six Sigma journey also revolves around. Kano model is a very, very important tool we will be using when we start the journey of Six Sigma. So we will be parking this. This is a very important topic because it will be used as a tool in the Six Sigma project. The sample slides that I showed you for this one, let me quickly, just for a glimpse of it. Yes, so it is going to come in when we get into the Six Sigma journey. We'll start with the content of Six Sigma. We'll park it for now. That's the Kano model. So it is a part of your Six Sigma, like training part of it. Yeah, but we will not use this now. Let it come in the right sequence. We're trying to take things the way it will be used in real world. When you're doing a project, what will come first? What will come second? That's what we want to make sure that we can get a proper sequence of the events. Which tool? See, a lot of when we talk about picking up a book, we will get to learn a lot of topics. But now the real problem comes in when we transition theory to practical. We may be knowing 10 different tools, but which tool needs to be used in which situation, which will come first, which will come second? That's where the question rises. So we will just ensure that we follow the right hierarchy. So we will park this for now. So this is what we are parking. So I'm just going to make a note of it that we park this, and but definitely it's in the sequence, so it will get covered later. So this is the current way the market is kind of designing the product, looking at the product, innovating the product. Everyone is sort of looking into the Kano model. Logic of Kano model is being followed by everyone. No, so that's how things evolved, and we get into Six Sigma part of it now. Like, just to kind of get basic introduction right. Now, let's understand. Again, there's no need to know. Like, I'm sure I'm expecting, like, we are starting afresh. So, but what is your basic definition of lean? Like, things that I'm talking about, the journey, lean started at some point in time. What is the basic definition of lean? What do you mean by lean?
Waste control.
Waste control.
Eliminating the
Absolutely.
waste. Eliminate the waste in the process.
Perfect. Eliminate the process. Anyone else? Any other definition? You're right, by the way.
Speed process.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. So thanks for getting all the pieces together. Yes, I'm going to put together this definition, and keeping in mind the job interviews. So yeah, people do ask certain questions. So I'm going to use the statements which probably the recruiters want to hear during a job interview. Unless until you give all the required elements in a definition, your answer will still be sort of incomplete for them. So what is lean in a layman language? It is identification and elimination of waste from a process to increase efficiency. That's what we are trying to look for without compromising on the quality of product or service.
I think we talk about Tim Woods here, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. We learn about all of them. Yes, Tim Wood definitely will come in. That's the one of the basic tool to drive lean. So we'll get into the details. Yeah. So first of all, we'll briefly just try to understand. We're just trying to go through the basic introduction right now, just to get a clear picture as to what do we mean by lean at least. So it's an identification, and when you've identified a waste, you want to eliminate the waste. When you eliminate the waste, what you do is you increase the efficiency of the process. So lean improves the efficiency of the process. While you do this, you don't want to compromise on the quality of your product or service. Let's take a very simple examples to understand what is lean. Basis this definition, we'll try to kind of map it. Say there is a process, either it's a manufacturing process or it's a service related process. I start my process at stage one. There are various steps in the process. Either the product is being manufactured or a service is being delivered. Different steps. It currently takes me 15 days. That's the current turnaround time. Now, by the virtue of lean knowledge, now I know what is lean, what are the various lean tools. I will start using that knowledge to identify, is there a waste? So I'll go and criticize, is this step number A, is it a waste or not? Well, it seems no, it's not a waste. We'll go to step number B. Is it a waste? Yes. Say, for example, by the knowledge of lean, we understand, we decide that we are able to figure out this is a waste. We've identified it. Yeah, say similarly, we got this step as a waste. Now, once you've identified it, we would like to remove the waste. Why have a waste in the process? So now my process is trimmed, and now it looks like this: A, C, D, F, G, and H. Now it takes 10 days only. That's lean. Simple as that. In a simple layman language, that's what is lean. Lean is all about speed of the process. Can you deliver it faster? That's what we're looking for. When you are trying to implement lean, the only thing we're trying to find out is, can you deliver the product or service faster without compromising on quality? Yes, while we are trying to remove this is a waste. While we remove and cut short this period, we don't want the product quality to be hampered. So whatever quality we were offering at the end of 15 days, that should still remain intact. So at the 10 days, we don't want to compromise the quality. Yes, we have reduced huge amount of time, because every step was consuming some time, some resources, some raw material. But yes, but when we have reduced the time, obviously the efficiency of the process has increased. The process efficiency is increased in terms of cost, time, efforts, resources, raw material, and so on and so forth. So everything, because these step number B and E was consuming some of your resources, you are saving on it. You can utilize the remaining days for doing something more constructive. Your customer will be more happy. You're able to deliver things faster. You have implemented lean. Cut down the time. Lean is all about speed of the process. That is what we do. That's one sort of a process improvement methodology, which is lean. Now, when we talk about Six Sigma, we'll be getting into detail. Right now, we're just talking about overview of everything. When we talk about Six Sigma, and like again, would like to hear it from you all, what is Six Sigma as per your understanding?
Reducing the variation in the process
Perfect.
to increase the quality.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Reducing the variation in the process. Absolutely. Yes. Bang on. Anyone else has any other definition?
Yeah,
Doing first
reducing
thing right.
defects and errors.
You are absolutely correct. Yes. Reducing defects and errors. Okay, well, let's put the definition back here. So based on the same definitions that we have received, like got from you all, yeah, it is a data-driven statistical approach to reduce variation. Now, when I say variation, I'm going to write defect, and we'll understand why. What is that? To increase, which basically when we do that, it's a data-driven statistical approach to reduce variation, to increase effectiveness of the process. Now, if you have a process, when you use some data-driven statistical approach, some analysis is done on your data to understand why the variation is happening. Now, when I'm writing variation, I'm mentioning defect. We'll understand what's that. So when you reduce the variation, when your defect goes down, your effectiveness goes up. What is this effectiveness? Effectiveness is quality. We talk about how effective you are. That is nothing other than your quality, how effective you are. So when your defect will go down, when you reduce the defect in the process, your quality will get better. How do you do it? By the means of a statistical approach. Lean and Six Sigma, they are two different worlds, absolutely different. They have nothing in common here. They are two different methodologies which we are talking about. Now, here, what do we mean by this variation? Let's quickly just try to have an understanding about it. Say I have like a client which wants me to manufacture some whiteboard marker for them. So the target given to me that was that we need 5.5 inches long whiteboard marker. That's what is the target. Now client wants me to manufacture this. I'm randomly putting some values to just explain this part of it. let's kind of keep it until this. Okay, now the client expected us to give 5.5 inches long marker. This is not compliant. This is not 5.5. This is not 5.5. This is not. This is 5.5. Do we have anything else? So let's randomly make some like this. Say we have some 5.5 related markers also, some markers here. Okay, well, that's what we met. So out of whatever number of markers, we have some defects here. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. That's a variation. What is variation? Variation is anything plus or minus from the target. The client wanted 5.5, bottom line, we mean 5.5. 5.6 is a variation, which is more than 5.5. 5.4 is a variation, which is less than 5.5. Variation is which is not meeting the target. Anything plus or minus is a variation. That is what the customer would call it as a defect, because what customer has asked for is 5.5. You should be able to deliver that. So what Six Sigma does, we'll try to understand why this variation happened through the means of like statistical tests, studies, and we will be able to understand why is it happening. Once we understand it, we will try to reduce this variation. So you will be able to deliver more of 5.5 markers. Your variation, your defect will reduce, which will increase your quality. That's what we do in Six Sigma. It's a data-driven study. Now, having said that, is there a number that comes to your mind? Have you heard about a number which is associated with Six Sigma, other than the six part of it, but any number, performance level?
Yes. 3.4 defects per million.
Perfect. 3.4 defect per million opportunity. That's what we generally hear. People, when we say my process is working at Six Sigma level, this is the level of performance, level of quality. Well, people will call this as 3.4 DPMO also, which stands for defect per million opportunity. What does it mean? That this means that if I were manufacturing 1 million markers, I will only have 3.4 defective marker. That is the probability of having maximum defect in the marker could be 3.4 defective markers. That's how good we are talking about. This is phenomenal. In 1 million, only 3.4. This is almost like a zero defect. This doesn't even stand a chance in a million. But let's see how much would that be in percentages. If you were to talk about in percentage, what is that percentage? Percentage is 99.99966%. That is the quality level. If you explain the process performance Six Sigma, what does it mean? This is the quality percentage in language of Perl. So if you are talking about in millions, because Six Sigma, the Sigma levels are always measured in millions. So that is the performance level. And what does it equate to in percentage? This is the percentage quality, which is phenomenal.
I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Why it is 3.4 only?
Yeah, so basically we have a table which we can refer to. See, let's just what I was coming next. So we will be able to understand what is this sigma level, why this number, that we definitely will be able to cover up. Like probably I'll be explaining that in a moment also. So let's understand what is this sigma level first of all. When you say Six Sigma, are there 4 sigma also? Is there a 2 sigma? What does it mean technically Six Sigma? We're saying these many defects. Why 3.4? Valid question, absolutely valid. But before we answer that question, let's quickly have a look at it. What is the Sigma level actually? But have you heard anything better than Six Sigma before? Is there anything which is in the industry or any industry which works better?
9 or 12 Six Sigma, 9 and 12 Sigma for aviation.
Yes, so it's about 12 Sigma. Yes, aviation industry.
24 Sigma, I think is.
I'm sorry, aviation is around 12 Sigma.
12 or so what is this? Astronaut is 24 Sigma.
Astronauts, yes, astronauts would be. I'm just talking about basic airlines aviation stuff. Astronauts would definitely be on higher 24 Sigma. Bottom line, these are higher Sigma levels. So pharmaceutical industries are this is somewhere between 10 and 11 Sigma. These are reported numbers. So bottom line, what does this Sigma level means? Let's understand in a very simple way so that we can make sense out of this Sigma level, so as to say. Let's understand this. There is a scale. This scale has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. It's a scale. It's a sigma level scale. Similarly, we have -1, -2, -3. So it's a scale which goes plus minus everywhere. So we have a zero also. So now what does it mean? We are saying if your process is working at 6 sigma level, the number of defects you will make at 6 sigma level will be 3.4 defects per million opportunity. In 1 million opportunity, this is the number of defects you can make. Maximum number of defects you can make is 3.4 in a million. So every number on this scale tells you how many defects would you make at this level, at certain levels. So 7 sigma, how many defects? At 3 sigma, how many? This is a defect measuring scale. Defect measuring scale. And every number has certain number of defects associated with it. So we will be able to, and trust, it's so easy to calculate sigma level, and you can calculate sigma level for anything and everything, whatever comes to your mind. If you want to calculate sigma level for your office reporting time, well, I start from my home, reach my office. What is the sigma level there? We call for a meeting. The meeting is supposed to start at 9 o'clock sharp. 50 people were called for a meeting. Only 45 came on time. What is the sigma level for that? It's that simple. You can calculate sigma level for anything. Now, bottom line, we get to understand this is just a defect measuring scale. Every number talks about certain number of defect, and based on the number of defects, you get your sigma level. So you get to know what's your defect level, you will be able to calculate your sigma level. Simple as that. Now, let's take a simple example. We will get to learn this as we go ahead, how to calculate this. But just to give you a simple idea, when your process has 50% defect rate, if you are making 50% defect, your sigma level will be 0. If you are, so bottom line, what this scale means, if your sigma level, if if your defect reduces, sigma increases. This is inversely proportional. So higher the sigma, better it is, because you will have lesser defect. Like aviation, you would not board a flight if they are working at 6 sigma level. Believe me, you would not board a flight. You would not have medicines if they are working at 6 sigma. It's bad. It's pathetic. It's bad for these industries. These industries are critical industries. Life and death situation is there. So you, like, why isn't the COVID vaccine, why did it take, and we still kind of speculating, is the COVID vaccine good or bad? uh, like, would it have a side effect? Well, we still speculating. Why? Because this is going to cause huge implications. We cannot afford error here. If we end up giving a wrong vaccine, so many people could die. So these industries, we do not have a chance of making error. Every defect is so costly, you cannot work at 6 sigma. It's bad for them. Having a 3.4 defects is not good in these industries. Yeah, you're making a whiteboard marker, doesn't matter. 3.5 markers or 4 markers, if they become defective, what's the cost? Who cares? But these industries, a flight would crash, one flight. Well, out of 1 million flight, 3.4 flights will crash. Well, that's not acceptable. So 6 sigma, for some selective industries, it is very bad. But yes, barring these life and death kind of situations, such industries, uh, every other industry, this is a benchmark. This is a benchmark. Why not 7 sigma? Why not 5 sigma? Why? For a simple reason. With basic process improvement methodologies, without too much of investment, without too much of automation, you can increase the process up to a level of 6 sigma. Beyond 6 sigma, generally you need automation. You need automation to drive your sigma level beyond 6 sigma. So that calls for huge investment. But would you like to do $1 million investment to save 3.4 defective markers? No. What's the cost of a marker? Nothing. Well, you will end up investing huge amount of money. So yeah, I don't want to go beyond 6 sigma in general industries. Yeah, these industries have to be, they don't have a choice. So they have this aviation, pharma, they are all automated. Till the time it's humanly driven manual process, it will have a probability of having defect. But yes, even with basic process improvement steps, you can increase the sigma level up to a level of 6 sigma. Hence it's a benchmark. Everyone wants to be there. Industry wise average, if you keep these industries outside, industry average is around 3.5 sigma. That's it. You put every other industry together, average is around 3.5 sigma. Similarly, if we talk about this section, this side, Uh, if defects are more than 50%, sigma level will be in negative. So it's a simple logic. Like if your defects are more, your sigma level will be negative. It will go into negative. At zero, you have 50%. Like so, 50% defect, you are at zero sigma. Let me give you a very quick formula so that we all can calculate instantly what is sigma level. Like what is the logic behind it, we'll learn as we in the later stage. But it's a very simple one. We can calculate a simple one. Let's say uh, if my process has 12% defect rate, what is the sigma level? And we won't be getting into the logic, but the calculation is what we're trying to understand. Logic will later on understand what we in probably third or fourth session. Right now, let's look at the formula. So you will be able to norm dist. No, so my bad. Norm sin v. This is the form, and these formulas are available in Excel, so you can easily calculate. Norm sin v. Open up the bracket. It's asking you what is the probability of making a defect. 1 minus, open up the bracket. Now you put your defect rate. So norms in V, open up the bracket, 1 minus, open up the bracket. Now you start putting your defect rate. What is your defect rate? 12. 12 defects out of 100. 12% means 100. So 12 defects out of 100 will be 12%. Close the bracket, and then plus 1.5. Why 1.5? We'll explain that later. That's the sigma level. If your process is working at 12% defect rate, this is your sigma level. Okay, let's talk about another one. You call for a meeting. Meeting was supposed to be for 50 people. 45 came on time. What is the defect? 5 people who never turned up, were absent, or came in late. That's a defect. What is the sigma level for this meeting? Simple. Norm sin V. Open up the bracket, 1 minus, open up the bracket. What is the defect rate? 5 out of 50. Close the bracket, plus 1.5. This meeting has a sigma level of 2.78. Well, just take any random number. Well, I'm doing some audits. I found 1,450, some defects out of, say I audited some random number. Well, some random number, these many, some stuff. This is what from 12,344 pieces which I audited, I found 1,453 defects. What is the sigma level? Same logic, no other rocket science, very simple. Norms in V, 1 minus bracket 1,453 divided by 12,342. My bad, this is where it will, okay. Close the bracket, plus 1.5. Oops. Yeah, we got it. So you can calculate sigma levels for anything and everything. It's that simple. And there are other methods also. So we learn about every possible method, the manual way of calculating sigma level, Excel way of calculating sigma level, and the MINITAB way of calculating sigma level. We'll learn about all the methods, yeah, as we go across. So this is one of them. Now, I hope we are all good so far. Any questions that you may have, please let me know before we proceed to the next thing. Any questions?
Yes. Tell me, I mean, we all talk only about process. Even if we have to work on a product, we usually say that this is applied only on process, right?
Yeah.
Six Sigma.
Yeah, so you can do it on anything. So you can deal with product, you can deal with service, you can, if there is anything that you need to, like say you want to come check what is performance level, be it a product related stuff, you had some expectations with the product, how you measuring those expectations. Okay, probably why don't you tell me what is that you want to calculate sigma level for when you talk about a product related?
Nothing. Maybe, see, I mean, you just gave that example, where we had to produce 5.5-inch marker.
Right.
So rather than working on a product, I mean, this process, Six Sigma applies on a process, right?
On a metric, on a metric. Yeah. So if in a process, there could be other metrics also. I am talking about the defect rate. Well, that's what I'm measuring. A company cannot be a Six Sigma company. In a company, there could be multiple Sigma levels working. So probably I am working on 2 Sigma level for my quality, I'm working on 3 sigma level for my turnaround time. Depending on what metric you are measuring and what is your target, you end up calculating sigma level. So there could be multiple sigma levels within the same company for the same process, depending on what are you measuring. If you're measuring your cost, then you have a different sigma level, because you'll have a different target. If you're looking at the defect rate, you'll have a different sigma level. So you need to have a target. What do you want to achieve? And then you'll see where are you, and accordingly you will be able to find the deficit.
Is this Six Sigma will be used only to know the defects, or else it's also a tool for to increase the process?
Yeah. So we just get to understand. This is just to measure, but you will understand why are we getting those defects, and we would like to fix them. So, but yes, we need to understand where we are to improve. So that's the way how we calculate it. But yes, we would like to understand why are the defects happening in the first place. We will be able to do that investigation, and that will again be done through statistical methods. I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
One query,
Thank you.
on third point, that is when mentioned 12, 3, 4, 2 is the total number, and out of 1, 4, 5, 3, you have find out the defects.
Right.
So can we manage this last number, that is 12, 3, 4, 2? So again, it depends on how you manage the output with respect to your input. Means your 12, 3, 4, 2 is managed with respect to your defect.
No, so it's just about like we're trying to see, like there could be this is probably the production target, and these many defects we made in the products. We manufactured these many markers, and we found these many defective markers. Well, what is the production like quality of your process?
In process, so it is like you are saying it is in production, but in a process, like in audit also, we are considering like a 13,000 are the points, and
right.
you are mentioning 12,342 are the points out of there are 1453 are the defected.
Yes,
so
yes.
we are considering we are only 12,342 points we are considering. If there is well, less than 12,000 points, means like we can manage that points also with respect to the defect points. So can increase that.
Yeah. So say, for example, say there's an invoice and it has certain fields. Let's take a very simple example here. I have invoice, and there's a process where we fill in invoices. So we have invoicing process, and we want to find out what is the sigma level for my invoicing process. We process every day on an average. Say we process 750 invoices per day. Every invoice has, say, 25 fields which needs to be filled in. So there's a form or something which we need to fill in. So we have in total how many chances of making error? 750 multiplied by 25. These many opportunities are available with me when I can make error. These many fields are there where I can make error. This is my total available chances of error. Now I will audit. When I'm auditing, somebody who's auditing the process might find that out of these we've made, say, 176 errors. Some fields needs to be reworked. It's not clear. The invoices are not correct. Well, some fields are not right. I can calculate the sigma level for my invoicing process. Same logic. I hope that answers your question. This is what so it's not only about the product. You can do it with anything. What is that you want and what you didn't get will give you the sigma level. So we'll get to that level. So bottom line, you will be able to check and calculate sigma level for anything. The methods are easy. It's just about like when we get to the stage when we start picking up some case studies, we will be able to calculate them, and there are various ways to achieve there. So we'll get to the stage where we learn about how to calculate sigma levels. Now, the next thing we would love to like in case we all done pretty much we can the next thing we would like to understand here is about history of lean. Now, how did the lean start? Because again, history is important, so we won't do a deep dive into every aspect, like specifically history, but yeah, few basic things we should be aware of. from the job perspective. Now, it started with Ford Motors. Now, lean was never introduced by Ford Motors. Having said that, lean was in. Can anyone tell me who introduced lean?
Motorola.
Toyota.
Toyota, yes,
Toyota.
absolutely. Toyota was the one who introduced lean. Lean is an outcome of what Toyota did. We will try to come to Toyota from Ford. Uh, what Ford never knew what is lean. Bottom line, the word lean was not there when Ford Motors brought about a change. And what they did was lean. They had nothing called these guys never knew something called lean, but whatever they did, that is what lean is. Around 1913 time frame, these guys changed the method of production. Now, earlier the cars were manufactured. These were into car making. They were pioneers in the car manufacturing. But I'll put everyone on mute in the meantime. Just give me a quick moment. So these guys were making cars, and we all know Ford Motors. So the older version of manufacturing was called craft manufacturing. Now, what do we do in craft manufacturing? Uh, the cars were manufactured at one place, and people used to move from one car to another to fit in spare parts. This was done in craft manufacturing. So just a small random example. Car one is here, then another car is here, car two, and let's say we have the third car here. Three cars were being manufactured. So I'm say fitting in bulb. So I'm moving with all the spare part of bulb. I'll fit in the bulb in this car. Then I'll drag the luggage of the spare parts of the bulb to the next car. I'll fit in the bulb here. I will then move on to the next car. So I'm dragging that entire baggage of car bulbs. I'm say somebody's fitting in tires in a car. We'll be moving with all the tires from one car to another car. It was a slow process, very, very slow process, because you're dragging the entire inventory with you to fit in all those spare parts. And plus, because of the dragging thing, there was a lot of wear and tear and damage done to the part. There were a lot of wastage there. So these guys changed the method of manufacturing, and they got into assembly line concept. Assembly line, or you can say a conveyor belt concept. What we do in assembly line concept here, cars started built and people became stationary. It's just about somebody thought, why not flip it? Why let people move? So instead of car, we had person one here, person two here, and this is person three. So if I am fitting in bulb, I have all the bulbs with me. The car comes in front of me. I fit in the bulb on the moving belt. Then this moves on to the second person. He's probably fitting in tires, and somebody is fitting in something else. The belt keeps moving, and then the parts keep moving on this belt. It speeded the process. There was no more dragging, no more like damage done to the part. It increased the production. During the craft manufacturing, what the reported numbers say, these guys were barely making 32 to 35 cars per month. That was their production count for cars on an average. This increased their production. This method increased the production from 3 to 4 times. This started the mass manufacturing concept for them. With the same number of staff, with slight change in the methodology, mass manufacturing concept started, and they were able to produce so many cars. They started pumping in cars in the market, because earlier, even if they wanted, they could not, because it was a slow process. It with the similar, like with same manpower, they were able to build up this big empire. Why? Because they started minting in money. 3 to 4 times production was a huge improvement, a jump in the production. And not only the automotive industry, every other industry started adopting this method. This was a game changer. What it did, it speeded up the process. Whatever time it used to take to make a car, they were able to deliver it faster, and they were producing more because they had surplus time, and they were profitable. There were less damage, less warranty claims. Technically, they were in a good shape. Now, when this mass manufacturing happened, pretty much every other company got sort of benefited from the logic. Toyota people, like they came in late, and the word Toyota, like these Toyota people, gave this logic of uh, lean. The lean word was introduced by Toyota people. But again, before we talk about that, let's sort of giving you a quick background about this. Now, if we know the history of Japan, sort of, as so as to say, because Japanese people have mastered the art of quality. Probably no one else, I would say, knows better lean than anyone else. Lean was actually mastered until date. Japanese product in terms of quality, that's unbeatable. Now, what these guys did, like if you know about when Japan was bombarded, these guys as a country, they collapsed. The economy was in a terrible shape. These guys would have filed bankruptcy. They would have, like, things would have gone out of control, and it was out of control post the Second World War when they were bombarded. Now, as a country, if you put all those islands together, uh, it will be the size of Japan will be almost equivalent to the size of California in US. But almost like 40% of the land is inhabitable. There are a lot of islands where people can't live. There's so many volcanoes. That's how it is. So these guys are not, and moreover, these guys are not blessed with any natural resource like oil. So pretty much there was less capital. The economy was in a bad shape. Everything was less, and they had no choice. So it's always said the necessity is the mother of invention. With nothing in hand, technically with the limited resources, and they had to compete with big giants like Ford and all. They could not beat them in capital. They cannot get into mass production. They had limited resources, limited funds. So the only thing they've understood that if we want to beat these big giants, the only way we could beat is quality. So they imbibed and they learned the language of lean, this concept of lean. They introduced TPS. TPS stands for Toyota Production System. Toyota Production System is the best way to understand lean. The collection of lean tools are how the lean tools can be used is well displayed in the Toyota Production System. Even till date, in all automotive companies still use Toyota Production System. It's the best way how the lean tools can actually be exercised. You can use them separately, but how Toyota understood it, how Toyota created it, it's still the one of the best way to practice lean. Now, like these guys before, so these guys actually became big because of what they brought to the world, this lean concepts. They started getting a lot of inflow of money because investors, like customers, were happy. Japanese product, these cars were much cheaper than Ford ones. They had less warranty claims. They were designed keeping the end customer in mind. They were great, and Ford started losing market share significantly. They ate up European markets, they got into American markets, they started bleeding big time, and Toyota became big. Investors have no loyalty. They started pumping in money, and Japanese counterparts started becoming very big. Not only Toyota, like other industries also, because as a whole, the country had understood the concept of lean, which was sort of unknown thing for everyone else. Well, everyone was still trying to understand what these Japanese people are doing. Well, how come their products are cheaper and yet reliable, and they're less warranty claims, no issues, no defects? How is that possible? Well, that was still, the world was in shock, and that's how these guys started getting bigger. And thanks to what happened in lean, it gave birth to Six Sigma. So that's where because of lean, thanks to lean, Six Sigma started. And we'll understand how did it start, why did it start. So thanks to Toyota, whatever they did. Now, I would like to understand, where did Sigma start? Anyone would like to share?
Motorola.
Perfect. It is Motorola. Yes, that's the correct answer. Now, few name we should be aware of with respect to Six Sigma, and specifically with respect to Motorola, because these guys, the gentleman Bob Galvin, he was the CEO of Motorola. There's relevance why we're kind of mentioning these names: CEO of Motorola. Then we have Bill Smith.
Sir, I have a confusion here. It is Bob Galvin or Paul Galvin?
No, Bob. It's Bob Galvin.
Because Wikipedia is telling he's Paul.
Okay, well, that's what we like. Just give me one quick moment. Let's have a quick look at it. So Bob Galvin, or well,
He is a owner of Galvin Manufacturing Corporation in 1928, and then it changed to Motorola in 1947.
he's got a middle name also. Robert William is known as Bob Galvin. So okay, well, that's a nickname, like sort of. So people call Robert William as Bob Galvin. So Bob Galvin. So same stuff, same person. So we're talking about the
Bob
same.
Galvin, huh?
So Robert William, like also known as Bob Galvin.
Because all right. So because I'm seeing in Wikipedia, he is Paul Galvin.
Okay, so he's the one. He's the one. Like who actually? So Bob
All
Galvin,
right, all right.
the common name people generally. So that's what people remember. But it's actually the full name is Robert William Galvin. But yeah, people called instead of Robert William, people preferred to call the name which became popular was Bob Galvin. So that's what we also remember, Bob Galvin. Perfect. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. So Bob Galvin actually was the one who introduced this. Not sort of introduced, he wanted something, and we'll understand why. These guys, these guys were like, when we talk about Motorola, uh, they were giant, and they had complete monopoly in two products. One was pages, Motorola pages. Motorola pages were used by almost.
Sir, can you check this website I sent in the chat?
I will definitely check this out. Like so,
it is Paul Galvin.
So I will definitely check that out. Yes, but yes, uh, give me one quick second. I'll definitely make a note of it, and we'll check
Yes,
this out.
please.
But yes, in the books and everywhere, like you'll just see Bob Galvin only. But yes, I will definitely check this link.
All right.
Yeah. So these guys were in a terrible shape thanks to Lean, because Motorola started getting tough competition from Japanese counterpart, which had recently mushroomed, and they started eating up the market share for Motorola, and both their product started getting tough competition. One was pages, second was walkie-talkie, which was used by all security officials globally. Even if you probably try to Google up or you find it on YouTube, there's a video where the first satellite which actually landed on moon, the conversation which is there, which is happening from NASA, from moon to NASA, the video has the person has a walkie-talkie in the phone which has a logo of Motorola on back of it. They were that popular, they were that big. Now these guys started getting a tough competition from the Japanese counterpart on all possible fronts. Now investors again, they start, because people had no choices. The same logic gets in here. It was your push theory and people had no choices. People were still buying it because there were no options available. They were the ones who people had no choices. People were still buying it. But now when people had choice, a better choice, a cheaper one, more reliable one, more customer friendly, people started moving. And that's how even the investors started moving and pulling out money from Motorola. They were in a bad shape. And then if it would have, and that's what Bob Galvin in one of his interviews claimed, that if they would have continued at the same rate, they would have filed bankruptcy. Now they were that bad because of, thanks to Lean, whatever Lean did to them. Now a task or a project was assigned to the senior team, and so Bob Galvin funded the project. This gentleman is known as father of Six Sigma, Bill Smith, and there's another gentleman, Michael Harry, spelled as Mikel. Michael Harry. Now he's Dr. Michael Harry. He was the assistant scientist, or the senior scientist was Bob Galvin, and he was assisted by this gentleman, which is Michael Harry, and now he's known as Dr. Michael Harry. He was the first one to start the Six Sigma Academy outside the corporate world, like an institution like we have IMC. Similarly, Dr. Michael Harry started the first Six Sigma Academy in 1996, and until date, they actually run that. Now, these guys were given a task, and in 1986 they announced it to the world. They have come up with something called Six Sigma. This is phenomenal performance, which is 3.4 DPMO, defect per million opportunity. We can deliver 99.99966% kind of quality. That was a shocker to the Japanese also. Well, Lean, genuinely Lean can get you a quality percentage, a good quality percentage, maximum up to 99%. That's what max you could go with Lean. Just putting a number to it. Why? Because Lean looks at obvious ways. You look at your process, you visualize the process, see what's wrong, you fix the waste which is visible to you. Now that could just probably bring you to a level of 99%, which was a great performance level. This was unbelievable at that point in time because globally people were okay with 90%. 90% was a great thing, benchmark. Now getting a 99% kind of quality, that's why they were like phenomenal. People started loving Japanese product. This was a game changer for them, for the world, because 90%, 85%, that was also okay at that point in time. But this was a game changer. But yeah, even this took Japanese by surprise. Is that also possible? Well, definitely is. Motorola regained everything what they lost, the market share, the customers, and everything. Now, thanks to this gentleman, noble soul, never patented, never made it a company proprietary information. This gentleman, like, they invited people, industries professionals to come at Motorola facility, see what is this Six Sigma, how they have created this Six Sigma, how do they reduce defect, how to study variation, how projects are done. They invited people to come to Motorola facility. They conducted a lot of seminars, and yes, bigger names than Motorola, giants, Allied Signal. You have ABB, Asian Brown Bovary, which is still one of the best in the industry. Then you have Honeywell, the big names in scale in terms of the total revenue. These were big industries. They stepped in Six Sigma, and I think the Dr. Michael Harry was poached and hired either by Allied Signal or Honeywell to implement Six Sigma. Obviously, this happens everywhere. So these guys reported even bigger profits than Motorola. They were, because of the magnitude, the size, it became popular. Everyone wanted it. It was no longer like a hidden story. What is Six Sigma? People started understanding it is great. People wanted to adopt it. These were big industries. They used it, and they started kind of benefiting out of it. Unfortunately, Motorola uh, could just use it for themselves, but they could never make it so popular. Yes, they helped it, help people to understand it, but they never used it to perfection. And well, sort of, they were, if they were the one who created it, but could not make best out of it. What they reported, and the last reported numbers from Motorola, uh, that they saved about $17 billion. I'm not talking about revenue. I'm talking about cost saving because of Six Sigma projects until year 2000. Last reported numbers by Motorola, from the time they actually initiated till 2000, until 2000, they saved about $17 billion in cost saving. I'm talking about Motorola. These guys started kind of saving on annual basis 2 billion, 1.5 billion. These were big companies, so they were able to report even bigger profits. Now, this is where the biggest giant stepped in, General Electric. Now, General Electric was the one and is the one which revolutionized it. The popularity that Six Sigma got thanks to GE. Even till date, General Electric, if you talk about who knows Six Sigma best, nothing other than General Electric. Even till date, it's a culture there. If you are going to join General Electric, you cannot get any management position if you're not Six Sigma certified. Six Sigma certification is mandatory for you to hold any management position. Uh, People in GE, from top to bottom, everyone understands what is Six Sigma. The culture is Six Sigma. People breathe Six Sigma there. That's how it is. Now, in 1995 timeframe, these guys stepped in. The owner of or the CEO of General Electric, Jack Welch, very popular name in the industry. This gentleman introduced Six Sigma. Well, these guys really appreciated the good work what Motorola had done, and we will be studying Six Sigma in 5 different phases. We implement Six Sigma in 5 distinct phases: D, M, A, I, and C. These are 5 different phases through which we go ahead and implement Six Sigma and do projects. D stands for define, M for measure, A for analyze, I for improve, and C for control. Now we'll understand what do we do in every phase. That's the approach. D, selection of the right project. You may be dealing with a lot of business problems, a lot of challenges, and there are a lot of problems which is like quality related, customer complaints related. You could have revenue challenges, multiple business challenges could be there. which one is the most critical one? You do not have abundance of everything. You have limited resources, limited manpower, money, time. You want to make the best out of it. The return on investment is what we are looking for. So you need to select the right project. With Six Sigma, you will benefit in every sphere, but you need to look at the most important one and make the best out of it. You can't just pick up any project and start to, well, we want to do Six Sigma. No, you need to find the most, like the best one out of it. So selection of the right project is done in the define phase. Measure phase is all about collecting reliable data for analysis. Well, we are talking about data driven statistical test. If your data is not reliable, your project will fail. Everything thereafter is wrong. Like you would not be able to make sense out of anything. So collecting reliable data is the base of your project. This is why the measure phase is the most critical phase and will haunt you if you made error throughout the project. So it is the most critical phase, and even during the training, we will be talking a lot more in the measure phase than any other phase. So measure phase is very, very critical because this forms the base of your project. Now, once you've collected the reliable data, you're ready for analysis. In analyze phase, you use statistical tests to find root causes. Why you're facing that business problem? You get to understand exactly what is causing that. If you're facing any business problem, why is that? You use statistical test for that. In improve phase, you strategize, whatever, to and improve the process or improve the business problem. Basically, you achieve your target here, whatever you had set as a goal for the project. In control, you sustain the improvement. You don't want to go back where you started from. Again, Lean Six Sigma projects do not roll back. If you improve something, it stays improved. And that's the beauty of Six Sigma. Well, it will not happen that you have improved something, but sometime it's okay, and then we start seeing the problem. No, that doesn't happen in Six Sigma, thanks to the control phase. That's why we ensure that whatever we work upon, we will always sustain that improvement. Well, first, let's have a look at this. Is all statistical, and thereafter, this is all statistical. This is project management. Now, when originally Six Sigma was created by Motorola, and until GE picked it up, even the Allied Signal, ABB, everyone uses the Motorola version. It had just 4 phases. MAIC, which was the original version created by Motorola, just had 4 phases. The defined phase was added by General Electric. Thanks to them, they made MAIC as DMAIC. The defined phase was added by them. Well, they said, well, pretty much if you have not doing the right project selection, you're wasting money. You're wasting the efforts and resources. You are not doing the proper due diligence. You don't care about the money of the organization. That's when they said, well, first and foremost thing is to find the right project. Once you've done that, then go and collect the problem. Well, if you're just starting with data collection, well, then help me understand, why did you decide to do a project on cost reduction? Why not quality? Why not customer handling? Why not turnaround time? Again, that's where the biggest concern lied. Nobody got into that aspect. Okay, well, I know Six Sigma, let's start. What's the problem? Okay, this is the problem, let's start. That's how it used to happen. So GE added define phase. For a lot of due diligence was done to ensure that this is added, and world started following DMAIC. The popularity what Six Sigma got was because of General Electric. These guys used it for themselves, these guys used it for their clients, and these guys used it as consultants for other corporates. So they made Six Sigma popular. And again, if you know people successful in Lean Six Sigma industry, you will see someone somehow is linked with GE at some point in time. The older ones, yes, definitely they are linked with. Generally, most of them are linked with in some shape or form with General Electric. So that's how the journey of Lean and Six Sigma happened. So yeah, just want to know, are we all clear about it? So this is pretty much about the history per se. Are we all okay? Or probably if there's anyone who has any question, can share.
Yes, one question. Just I want to share something happened in the last about some arguing with in the yellow belt about the name of the Six Sigma Bob or Ball, and we clarify from the other trainer. No, it is not Bob. It is Ball based on that website I sent. And now again we return back to Bob. So the yellow Six Sigma trainer tell Ball, and now it's Bob back.
Okay. Well, let me then quickly have a look at this. So let me just quickly check this out. Now,
The website I sent in the chat, it is clearly mentioned his name, Ball. See, it's in front of you.
okay, I will. This is Paul Galvin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even his picture and his Motorola and everything's there.
Okay, so it's going to be sort of, so as we say, if we just quickly have a look at this one.
So we return back to Bob, or we still in Ball?
Okay, we're still at Bob Galvin. Okay, but still, so founder of Motorola. Okay, well, having said that, I will be more than happy to get back with some like authentication. Here, see, have a
Yes,
look at
please.
this. Have a
Yes,
look at
please.
this. We still have.
You can see the parents there.
Okay,
Paul
the parent.
Galvin.
Paul Galvin is the parent. The founder. So here it says Robert Bob Galvin was the U.S. executive. He was the son of founder of Motorola, Paul Galvin. The Six Sigma drive was initiated by Bob Galvin, who was the son of the founder. He was not the founder. He was the one who drove Six Sigma. Bob Galvin was the one.
All right.
Who
The other website is saying clearly he is the founder.
Oh, so okay. Well, so I will be more than happy to share some books where it's
yes,
those
please.
Six Sigma books. Yeah. So we'll
Because maybe it's coming in the exam. So which one we use?
So you won't be getting that way, but yeah, still, I'll share some books where you will be able to get the clarity and the ones
Yes,
which
please.
are like authentic ones.
I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Because of this strategy, like Motorola did not implement the D, the project management, where we can think that they are in loss now.
Yeah, I would say so, yes. Why? Because if we don't do define, this Kano model sort of thing kicks in. So if you don't understand the changing dynamics of the market, that's what Kano model talks about. So that's why we have parked it later. This Kano model talks about if you honestly are able to track what's happening in the market, you will always ensure that you need to upgrade your product. Because the moment your product is outdated, you'll be thrown out of market. People won't need you. You will be obsolete. And that's why good companies always keep getting some market surveys done to see what's changing. Because you don't keep a close eye on the changing dynamics of the market, you won't be required in future. Good companies continue to do that because I must understand the market dynamics are changing. The customer, the people have got online. People things are changing. You no longer prefer going outside in physical market to shop it. You get everything delivered at your doorsteps. Things are changing. So yes, I would still say Motorola made a big mess up with that. Like so, yes, definitely they should have capitalized. They didn't make the best out of it.
They still did not implement the D in their business.
No, I'm sure that they have, but you once you lost a game, believe me, it's very difficult to catch up. Nokia try to come back. It's very difficult. When you lose it, you lose it. Honestly, it's very, very difficult to regain what you lost. There's nothing called brand loyalty nowadays. Honestly, uh, things that people were brand loyal. Again, that factor has gone away. Again, we no longer talk about brand loyalty. Again, I'm sort of thing when we get to a stage where we'll talk about why it's like that. Earlier we used, I'm sure we all know what is customer satisfaction, CSAT. We used to talk about CSAT. It's an obsolete term, outdated. People no longer care about customer satisfaction. Gone are those days when I used to track customer satisfaction and say my customers are satisfied. Well, satisfied is not good enough. It's not good enough. What we talk about today, which is an updated version, is NPS and NDS. We'll talk about that. So good companies have already started tracking their performance in the language of NPS and NDS, which stands for Net Promoter Score and Net Detractor Score. These are the updated versions, and good companies have started using this as a metric to see how good I'm doing. Banks are doing it. Amazon does it. Uh, if you companies who are still working on CSAT, well, you are heading for trouble. So we'll talk about that when we get there, so that we understand how our different models work. What is CSAT? What customers say? We are tracking the customer is satisfied or unhappy. That's it. Now, the customer is unhappy. Well, I understand that part of it. When you say customer is satisfied, well, that doesn't mean that the customer is, I'm not even tracking, is the customer really loyal to you? Or is the customer going to be giving services to you? Well, somebody comes and delights the customer will move on. Simple as that. Well, if I am a net promoter, okay, let's this would barely take a couple of minutes. Okay, I would rather want to hear it from you all. uh, I'm sure like we all love watching movies, and that's what I can tell about myself. Any movie, probably any example, just for an argument's sake, anyone would like to share the last movie, or probably the best movie that you might have seen and which you recommended to your friends? Any name for that matter.
Braveheart.
Braveheart. Braveheart, right?
Braveheart.
Okay, Braveheart. So I'm sure you must have recommended it to your friends, and based on your recommendations, your friends would have gone and seen that movie. Somebody would have the movie producer or the cinema hall, the multiplex person. They would have made money because of your recommendation. Did you get anything out of it? No. Did anyone
No.
ask you to recommend? No. Why did you do that? We did it because we human beings, as human beings, we are naturally designed that way. If we feel good about something, we talk, we express, we tell it to our friends, family, we share the joy, and nobody pays us for this. Well, I'm a net promoter of Amazon. I love Amazon. And then even if I get a product little expensive on Amazon, I'm still going to buy on Amazon. I'm a net promoter for that. Nobody, well, if I like, say, a restaurant, I go and tell it to my friends, well, you need the Chinese food? Well, you must go to this XYZ restaurant. It's amazing. I start promoting it. Nobody's paying me. I have become a self proclaimed advertisement campaign for that thing. Why? Because I was touched by the quality of food, the services, whatever it may be, but I have become a net promoter because I genuinely feel good about it. I share the joy. So net promoter score is these people will never go away. They loved your product and they will come back again. They will spread the word. This is word of mouth, like the what we say, word of mouth publicity. That's what these people are loyal to you. These are net promoters. When we talk about net detractors, these are the ones who will take your business away. Well, if you want to go for a vacation with your family and you go online, you want to searching for a resort, and there's a beautiful resort, amazing resort, absolutely fits in your budget, and has a 1-star rating and a lot of comments from various customers that this is bad, you should not go there, they are cheaters, fraud, god knows whatnot. Would you ever think about checking with a hotel guy or a resort guy that is this comment authentic or not? No, absolutely not. I would not even give a second thought to that resort. I will look for something else. Why? Because I do not want to spoil my experience, because somebody has already spoiled their experience. It is evident someone's experience is teaching me. Well, unfortunately, when we talk about such net detractors, these net detractors will help me understand that like, see, these people, I would not even get to know that somebody was looking for my property and didn't even care to check with me. That's very fatal. You lose business. People will post online big comments. I don't know how many possible business were supposed to come with me because of looking at some feedback which somebody shared. I lost that business possible opportunity, and my competitor is gaining because of it. These people will take away your business. These are fatal. So good companies are tracking this on a diligent basis. So if I have a very simple example, say I have a restaurant, I have like 10 people who dine in the restaurant. Out of 10 people, 8 people say we like, when we talk about these 8 people, technically they said we are okay with it. This is sort of the food quality and everything, we are okay with it. The quality of the food is, we're satisfied, they're okay. One person says it is great. One person says it's pathetic, absolutely bad. Now if I have to look at say customer satisfaction score, I will say my 9 people are fine. So I will score myself as 9 on 10 here. I'm doing great. Obviously, you can't convince everyone. So, well, I'm not happy with this one person who's unhappy, but 90% I'm doing great. Well, that's fine. 90% of my customers are satisfied. Well, that's living in a rosy world and complimenting yourself. What is your net promoter score? 1 out of 10. One person who is absolutely delighted and is going to stay with you. That's, I would say, is a brand loyal. Will share the joy with everyone, get you more customers. 1%. This is net detractor score. They are nowhere, neutral, neither happy nor unhappy, sort of midway. This anyone can take away. They just said it's okay. It's not bad. Having said, they never said it's great. They just said okay. So yes, when projects are done, we try to find how do we increase the net promoter score. So yes, what else we could have done to change your experience from okay to great. That's what projects are done to increase the net promoter score. The projects are done to reduce the net detractor score. Well, we go back to them and apologize. Definitely, yes. I am. We are terribly sorry. I'm sure you must have experienced like when you rated us bad. Again, we really feel bad because we give our heart and soul in our services. So there must be something seriously wrong, which we probably missed. We're really sorry about that. Could you please help us understand where did we go wrong so that we can improve our services or product? Bottom line, we convert them to at least a neutral one. Obviously, you can't change them from gray, from bad to like net promoter, probably not, but at least convert them to this category. So the projects are done universe, like globally. There are a lot of projects have been picked up. Corporates are giving projects to their employees to increase the net promoter score, to reduce the net detractor score. That's the flavor. That's the future of projects across the globe. Again, that's how I would put it. Like given the trend I'm seeing in European markets, given the trend I'm seeing in various other markets, I see this being practiced predominantly. So yes, do try to see if you can get some more material, some videos to look at on NPS and NDS, because during job interviews, people might ask for about what is NPS and what is NDS. You should at least know about it. So that's what I would kind of like to comment around that. Are we all good with
Sir,
this?
please, can you minimize this rectangular in the top right? We cannot see what you write from the.
Okay. Well, I think probably this is the latest changes which Zoom has done in their setup. Now, is it okay?
Yes, now it's okay.
Perfect. All right. So this is pretty much the basic introduction that we kind of wanted to know, the journey, how the lean started, the history of lean, the history of Six Sigma. That's where we have reached now. Now we'll try to kind of understand a
So I have a
basic.
question.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Sir, is this Lean Six Sigma introduced in the services department?
Yes, you use it everywhere. So now, see, people were either lean experts, people were either Six Sigma experts. Now, people in lean, when we talk about lean, was primarily practiced in the manufacturing industry. As you know, the Ford and everything, the Toyota people. Six Sigma was practically used for service industry, people where we have data analysis and all that stuff. Both has a limitations. Your lean has limitations and Six Sigma has a limitation. Lean, we already know what is the limitation. It can get you a performance level which could be sort of up to 99% kind of quality. But when you want to take it to the next level, you need Six Sigma. But Six Sigma also has its own limitation. Why? Because I need to collect data. This takes time. So you have a problem. Can you just sit and wait for the data to be collected? It can take a lot of time also to collect data. No, we can't just sit idle. We can't let things be there till the time the data is collected. So yes, over a period of time, people stopped just becoming a lean expert or a Six Sigma expert. Well, people started following lean Six Sigma. So yeah, lean can be initiated the moment you are done with your defined phase, where you decide the project. You can get your lean process started, be it any industry, and parallelly the Six Sigma will kick in. So whenever Six Sigma gets started, the data gets collected, your process can get started. So both lean and Six Sigma initiatives and tools can be implemented parallelly. They will never conflict with each other. They always complement each other. The benefits of implementing lean and getting the returns out of it, the benefits of implementing Six Sigma and getting the returns out of it, is way too less when you implement them together. It's the chances are multiplied by multiple times. So it's very, very important that we should know both the things, and we won't stop. The moment lean doesn't need any further stuff. The moment you decide let's start lean, that means lean is started right now. Six Sigma will take some time. Data needs to be collected, which will take some time. So yes, you should have a knowledge of lean. And nowadays, that's why not there's nothing called Six Sigma certification. It's always called Lean Six Sigma. Lean has to be there. It's not a choice. Six Sigma can be a choice. Lean is not. Lean is basic hygiene, minimum requirement. You must have it. It's an operations job. You must do the same boring thing every day, but that's what is lean. Six Sigma is a like a classy thing. That's what I would put it. Yeah, you pick it up for a specific purpose and you get this thing done. Your project is over, your Six Sigma is over. It's simple as that. You pick up a project, do your Six Sigma, achieve the objective, your job is done. But lean, you can't say it's over. It has started, it will never end. Every day you have to continue doing the same repetitive task. I hope that answers your question. In service
Yes, sir.
industry, people are
I
using.
was in the I was working with GE for about 10 years,
Mhm.
and I was in the services department.
Okay.
But we were like not certified by,
Okay.
Lean Sigma, green or black. We
Okay.
had a quality guy who
Mhm.
was from the production. That
Okay.
was a different department, but we never implemented this in our department.
No, so see, when we talk about AI, if I talk about right now, I know a lot of my friends work there and they are using it. They're doing it for consulting, they're doing it for various clients. Like, so they are using it. And plus, there are a lot of institutions globally who are using Six Sigma in the service industry. And having said that, I can share the case studies, how people have used Six Sigma in various industries. So I'll share a complete like zip file so you all can have a look at it, like different industries, how people are using Six Sigma, different case studies across various industries. So you can have a look at it. It is being used. Bottom line is that there has to be a process and there has to be a problem. And if you have a process, you have a problem, whatever may be the industry, you can solve it. People are using it. It's that some companies are yet to get there and get started. A lot of companies have already started doing it. So it's there in practice. I mean, even in GE, I would like some of my friends, they are in service industry. And honestly, GE has started getting into giving irrational targets and commitments to the client also. And yes, so, there are clients where they have kind of committed irrational. I'm talking about service industry. They are using Six Sigma. They've committed something irrational also in some cases. But yes, that's how it is. Just to get the business sales by people end up committing anything and everything just to get the business. Yeah, so that's how it is. So I'm sure there, like it is there. I will share some material so that you all can have a look at it as to how service industry people are kind of using Six Sigma. Okay. Uh, okay. Are we all good with this, or can we get started?
Hi, sir. Will you able to share your notes with us?
Yes, yes. This is for you all.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely yes. After every session, I will email this to IMC team. They will in turn share it with you all.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. Thank you. So yeah, the next thing we would like to understand, like these, we're just kind of going through an order. This is there in the slides that I'm kind of, I'll start opening up and we'll kind of quickly look at it. This is all about introduction part of it. These are basic bullet points only, not the actual slide, but just the bullet points, what we're trying to cover here. So Lean and Six Sigma, we already talked about, improves efficiency, effectiveness. We should know where, well, from exam perspective, yes. And even the job related perspective, yes. People might ask you, what does Lean improve? Efficiency or effectiveness? Lean works on efficiency, Six Sigma works on effectiveness. We should know this basic difference, yes. We should remember the numbers like 99.99966%, the 3.4 DPMO, some basic stuff. Lean works on speed of the process. Six Sigma works on stability, accuracy, accurately meeting the target without variation. Variation is what we want to kill with Six Sigma. History of Lean, we briefly just discussed. History of Six Sigma we have discussed just briefly. Now coming to the Common understanding of Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma. Industry-wise, people have categorized Six Sigma, understood Six Sigma in a different way, like multiple ways. Broadly, if I classify them, there are four different classification of Six Sigma. One is a problem-solving tool, a method. So we use Six Sigma as a method. You got a business problem, let's use Six Sigma. That's it. So whenever during the course, when we talk about why is nothing other than your business problem. Whatever may be the business problem, what we want to solve will be referred as why. What if we, along with it, we say it's a function of x. That means y is an outcome of multiple x's. It's function of various x's, x1, x2, x3, x4, and multiple x's. All these x's combine together and give you a product, which is the business output. If you're not happy with the output, that means there's a problem in this output. Could be quality, could be defect, could be handling time, any problem. It is not happening on its own. It's an outcome of various factors. Something must have gone wrong here. That's why you're facing the problem. You can't fix this superficially. If you try to fix this superficially, it will come back again. It'll haunt you again. So it's very important to find which one has started giving you the problem. Find the root cause. Fix the root cause so that your problem can be permanently fixed. Sort of will give you very, very straightforward example. Till the time I was engaged with corporates, I was managing India operations for that organization. My managers will come up to me and say, well, Shashi, I need like we would require like 10 more people this month. My basic question would be, why you need 10 more people? What happened? Well, 10 people actually left the organization, so they quit. There was attrition. So yeah, I need to hire more. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to write an email to the HR, get more people. They will hire more people. Well, what happens next month? Well, some more people are required because some more people left this month. Okay, well, hire more people. Well, till the time I continue doing back and forth and try to fix this problem superficially, what is I'm doing? I am superficially fixing this problem. I'm just trying to do a quick fix. That is not going to solve the problem, because in the first place, I should know why people are leaving in the first place. If people don't leave, I don't have to hire anymore. Simple as that. So somebody needs to go and get out of that mindset to fix things superficially. It will come back and haunt you again and again. You need to understand what's causing that problem. Why is that a problem? And go down to the root cause. So Six Sigma approach works on the same logic. We go down to the bottom of it, understand what's causing the problem, fix the root cause so that your problem gets permanently taken care of. That's what is the approach in Six Sigma. Now, the second one is Six Sigma as a philosophy. Now, this is more about a mindset. Now, when we say philosophy, the first thing we would like to kind of take up is customer focus. We already talked about this, the Motorola thing, like we talked about Kodak and all that. See, if we are not customer focused, we will not be like working as per the client expectations. If the market dynamics changes, I would not be aware of it. Like, so what happened to BlackBerry and all those big brands, because they were not customer focused, you will soon be out of market. Now, fortunately, Six Sigma version works on the same logic. If you are checking your performance level with respect to what is the demand of the market, you will never be off, because the moment you are not meeting the expectation, your sigma level will start dropping. Your defects increases, your sigma level will go down. Six Sigma is all about meeting the target without any variation. Again and again, hitting the same target without variation. You develop a mindset where you become customer focused, because that's how you track your sigma level. If you're not customer focused, you'll see a dip in your sigma level. So you know something has gone wrong. So that's what it talks about. Second one sort of is my favorite from philosophical standpoint, employee engagement. Now, a lot of organizations invest a lot of money in terms of team bonding exercises, team building exercises. We do a lot of stuff, parties, events, probably outstation trips. We do a lot of stuff. Well, good organization invest in the people. Well, I'm not saying the other things are not important, but ideally I should invest in my people, train them. And good companies conduct these Six Sigma trainings within organization. Now, technically, what are they trying to do? They want people to come from different departments, somebody from operations, somebody from quality, somebody from training, somebody from HR, finance, marketing. Get people from different departments, get them go through the Six Sigma training. Now I have done my investment. Now what am I supposed to do? What am I expecting out of this? When you're done with your training, go back to your respective department, find a team, create a team, find a problem, solve it. So what I see is, a, with these set of people who have been trained, they go back to respective department and they start some sort of improvement. Now I see a 360-degree impact everywhere, every department that's getting better. There's an improvement drive happening. And see how it happens. One person cannot drive Six Sigma. It's not one man show. Oh, it's always a team who does a Six Sigma project. There's one person who may be leading it, could be a green belt, could be a black belt, but it's always a teamwork. One person can't drive it. So yes, it is always a teamwork. So when you use Six Sigma as a tool to drive team culture, why? Because it helps you get the team together, pick up an objective and solve the business problem in that particular department. So Six Sigma helps you to drive the team culture plus solve your business problems also. It's a tool for you to drive the team bonding, team culture. It works fine. And finally, it says distaste to defect and variation. So it's about kind of creating that mindset where you start looking at every single defect as a cardinal sin. Well, it's not okay to have a defect. That's the mindset. Well, it okay, next time we won't do it. No, that's not the case. Let me know why did it happen in the first place? Defect is not okay. Well, you had a defect, then you fixed it. Should I be happy about it? No. Why did you make a defect in the first place? If you won't have made a defect, there was no need to fix it. So fixing is not the problem. I need to understand why the defect happened. So there's nothing which will go unnoticed. I would not give you kudos for making a defect and fixing it. So it's about changing the mindset. Honestly, this takes time. This takes time because you have to invest in your people uh, and create the culture. There are a lot of role is of the management to drive that kind of behavior, get people into a mode of talking positive stuff, getting them into training, cross training. When you invest in your people, that's when people will start reciprocating in the same language. So philosophy is more about the mindset we're talking about, so that people are customer centric, people are talking about quality. It's no longer the mindset where the moment I step into office and I'm looking how many hours are left for me to go home. No, that's not the right mindset. So yes, for Six Sigma, you need to have that culture created. Good organization look into all these aspects. They are more like employee centric. People are not numbers. Employee are just not employee codes for them. People, they matter. The biggest asset for an organization is the employee them of the organization. Yes, so technically you need to have that kind of culture where Six Sigma can be cultivated. It can flourish. So this section is technically the role of the management. Anyone who has some responsibility of managing, you need to give the confidence to the team, to the people, so that they can reciprocate, because ultimately you need a team to do the job. You can't do it alone. So that's more of a philosophical aspect. Now, Six Sigma is a metric. Now that's where it becomes interesting. Why are we calling it as a metric? Metric means some sort of measurement system, something which I can measure something. Why I'm talking about Six Sigma as a metric? Now, say let's take a simple example. I have a few departments here. I have got operations, I've got quality, I've got training, I have got finance, marketing, I've got administration, I've got, like, let's pick up, let's kind of park it here. We've got like some departments, and I, as a business owner, I want to select the most, like the best department here. Help me understand, is it fair to compare them? I want to select, I want to find out which is the best department here. Can I find which is the best department here? And should I be doing the comparison in the first place? Should I be comparing these departments? Is it fair enough to compare them? Any question, any suggestions?
No, because every team is doing their individual task.
Operations have nothing in common with quality. They have nothing in common with training, finance, marketing, sales. Is it fair enough? No. So your answer is no. We should be comparing them. Anyone else has any different opinion here? Should we be comparing them?
We can compare them by their sigma score.
Absolutely, yes. Yes. Yeah. So coming back to the question, like, yeah. First of all, should I be comparing them? Why not? There's nothing called a stupid question. If as a business owner, I want to see who's my best department, yes, definitely. It's my right to know. I would love to. So there's a question which has cropped up in my mind. What's harm in asking this question? Definitely, is there a best department, the best department, and probably which is my worst department? But now, how do I do the comparison? Like there's an operations team which has nothing in common with quality, nothing in common with marketing, sales, finance, whatever. They have different job roles.
Six level, huh?
Yeah,
Six Sigma level for all of them.
absolutely, yes. Now, because it's like looking at different departments with different job role, it's like comparing apple with oranges, which is wrong. Now, because they have different metrics. Now, what I can do, I'm not comparing them with them. Like, so I have operations team. They have got their own target. I will calculate their sigma level for the operations team based on their internal departmental target, whatever KPIs they have, whatever performance targets are set by the operations team. Accordingly, I can calculate the sigma level. Now, let me just randomly create some so that we can make some sense out of it. Some random numbers. So please pardon me for whatever I'm doing here. Uh, yeah, some random numbers. Okay. Uh, that's the sigma level. So we randomly create, like I just randomly created, but yeah, based on the operations target, what they were assigned to them, I calculated the sigma level. So this comes at 6.5, this comes at 3.2, and all so on and so forth. Well, now these are not operations number. These are not sales number. These are not quality numbers. This is a new universal metric. I have converted, brought them into brought a common scale for them now where everyone can get compared. Earlier, they were different roles, and I could not have compared them because there was nothing in common, no common grounds for them to be compared. Now this is a universal metric. Look at the sigma levels. This is my best department. No questions asked. And the worst department is training. I can take this decision. The decision making became easier with Six Sigma. As a business owner, I could take rational decision. Again, it's always said data speaks for itself. And when you look at data, you don't have to explain anything. The data has its own language. It tells you what's right and what's wrong. There's nothing called gut feeling based decision. Well, I need to promote someone, and they say two, three people. I don't want to be taking the decision based on my gut feeling or I feel this person is good. No, please keep the feelings to yourself. Let me look at the data. That's how we go about it. Again, we look at data and we take the decision. Like so, we have this gentleman, the Infosys chairman, Mr. Narayan Krishnamurti. He says that, and that's what he's saying is like, I believe there is God, but for everything else, I need data. So that's how it is. We would love to look at data and then take the decision. We respect your experience, your gut feelings, but please let me look at the data first. That's how it is. Data makes the job easier. The decision making becomes easier. The integrity of the process cannot be questioned. Well, probably people otherwise might claim that somebody is biased and so on and so forth. Data takes care of it. So metric is definitely a game changer. The concept of dashboarding came into picture. Say there is a person who is managing 500 people, another manager is managing 50 people. Why not? Let's compare them. Who's doing better? I can do this rational thing. I have one business location in Mumbai, one business location in New York, one in Tokyo, one in Dubai. Now, which one is doing better? Let's do a comparison and then take a rational decision. So decision making became easier thanks to Sigma level. We were able to bring a common unit, a universal metric, which can be used for comparing and taking a decision anywhere and everywhere. Now, we have different ways of coming up with Sigma level. there's something called Z score or Z score, depending on whether you follow a British accent or you use a American accent. But yeah, I'll go with a Z score. That's how I would pronounce it. Z score. CP, CPK, PPPPK, that's another way of doing it. DPMO is defect per million opportunity. We have already looked at this. We'll learn about different ways how sigma level is calculated. So different ways of arriving at sigma level. So that's why we use sigma level as a Six Sigma as a metric. And finally, Six Sigma as a management system. Now that's what we will be dealing with is DMAIC, DMAC, and the other version is DMADV or DFSS. So DMAC and DMADV, let's see what is the basic difference between these two management systems. And we, by the way, will be studying DMAIC. Let's have a quick look at the basic differences. We already know what is DMAIC. Let's kind of copy paste it. That's DMAC. Let's copy paste the same and create a DMADV. DMA, we've got D and V. This is design and verify. This is also known as DFSS. So you call it as DMADV or DFSS. It's the same thing, which is design for Six Sigma. That's what we mean. Now, when do we use this method? Okay, there is a process, a product, a process, something. And I'm happy with the way things are going on, but I feel I can do better. That means I need process improvement. I need to improve something. Product improvement, process improvement, some improvement is required. Probably I'm not happy. There are complaints, escalations, issues, and I need to make it better. Again, I'm talking about process improvement. So bottom line, there has to be an existing process, whether it's working good or bad, which needs an improvement. You will go ahead with DMAIC. Technically, there is a process everywhere. So 99.99% of the time, we always use a DMAIC method for improving a process. That's how everyone uses. Now, when do we use a DMADV? DMADV is used for creating a new product or service as per client requirement, a new one. This is for improving the existing one. This is creating something new. Let's understand. Like I'm using a software and my client comes back and says that, well, Shashi, I need you to make us give me reports which should have this functionality. An X report should come in. I am coming with the various requirements. Well, sorry, sir, sorry. I cannot provide you with these features. The technology that I use in this software is not able to meet those requirements. I cannot do that. Even if I improve it to any extent, it can't get you that. Probably there's technological changes. If you need this, I need to create something for you absolutely from the scratch. That's when I will go for a DMADV version. So people in software industry, software development industry, people in research and development, they are the one who will generally get into DMADV version when client will come back and share a specific requirement as per the customer's requirement. You design a product or a service which meets the customer expectations as desired by the customer. And that's why we say design for Six Sigma, because you start at Six Sigma level. You start at a high level because you have exactly designed the product as what the client wanted. You created a product which is just or product, service, process, anything which is starting at the Six Sigma level. Why? Because you created, designed everything, you analyzed. This has all been done statistically. You tested, verified everything that it's meeting the expectation of the client, what the client has asked for. So everything has been done here statistically. This is covered in the black belt part of it. The tool which is used in this is generally what we call as design of experiments. Now, design of experiments is way more complicated in terms of statistics, and that's why it gets a little more complicated to kind of go into the DMADV. So at a black belt level, definitely you must know this, because I will understand what is the difference between green belt and black belt. So at this level, definitely, yes, you are expected to work on. But honestly, real world, unless and until you come from software industry where like kind of developing some stuff like that, or research and development, you'll barely be using this. And that's how I would put it across, because there's always a process around something which may not be working fine and you need that to be fixed. So that's how it works. So these are two different methodologies that we generally use Six Sigma with. Now, questions. That's what I would like to kind of hear. Any questions that we may have, or if we're good, please do let me know. Anyone has questions?
Sir, I want to ask you regarding construction industry, how you see like Six Sigma is operational in
See,
construction industry?
Six Sigma can be and is used. So when the case study I was talking about has a case study on construction also. So the chapter is Six Sigma in construction industry. So not only Six Sigma, so most of the lean tools will be used in construction industry, but uh, wherever there will be variability in the product that we are using, the material that you're using, you will end up using Six Sigma. If there is a like you will end up using. So see, technically, when there will be more of manual intervention, that's where Six Sigma can be applied, because the chances of making error increases. First of all, but the biggest tool that I would say in construction industry will be, first and foremost tool will be the lean tools, and then you will end up getting to Six Sigma. Six Sigma will be used because you have data. You might want to see the variability, the product, how much product is being used, like like say, is there a variation in the product that you get from one vendor, another vendor? Probably you're using certain material, and you start seeing problem in the material later on. The walls starts cracking. Some bit of testing needs to be done. You need to understand, we getting the best of the things. Why still my walls are probably getting cracked, whatever. So there could be problems, and to address those problems, if we could collect the data, yes, that can be tested. Anything, if you have the data, you can collect the data, and you have a problem around the data, pretty much you can do your analysis. So I will just say, like, have a look at the case studies that I share, and I'm sure you will get your answers there also. So please just hang on till
Sir,
tomorrow.
in
Yeah.
construction industry, usually they are saying it is around in the range of 3 or 4. You can say 3.4 sigma is what is coming for construction industry. Like I had studied some analysis on that. So what is your view on?
So construction industry is generally operating around 3 to 4 sigma already. So there are issues, there are errors. So 3 to 4 sigma is generally the range of what construction industry is also kind of working on. Because I've trained some people in for one of the institution, like one of the best institutions, I would say, within India, where they kind of this institution is all about construction. So all the construction people are like
Sir,
come
can you
from that.
name it?
Well, not right now. It would be not be right, but yes,
Okay.
probably one of the, again, the only one practically which is predominant in India. But yes, that's how it is. Like, so people use Six Sigma there. People have gone through. It's the need. It's a need. So, but I will just say that please go through the material that I share. If you're interested in particular industry, you can refer to that. If you want to go through everything, again, please go through it. Technically, the objective, the mindset can get clear that yes, it is being used. People are using it. Again, if it's just that we are not using it. So we must get into the act of using such tools there. So I will be more than happy to kind of share all the material, because see, this is more about sharing the material. I'll share the link for you all to download the material. Like I will share it with the IMC team. Some material I'll keep sharing on the WhatsApp group. Thanks, we have WhatsApp group there. In case you are not added up in the WhatsApp group, please check with your respective team, because I keep getting a lot of material, study material. I do keep sharing it on the group with people, and the good material, technically, yes. So please to stay there, ask questions, and I'll keep sharing. So without you being asking, in case you need something specific, do let me know. Else, any which ways, I keep sharing stuff from my end.
So do you have any case study with textile specific?
It has got a case study there. So it's a complete. It has got a lot of material in it. Please just have a look at it and show, like, where for various industries, even for the textile also, they've got material there. So I'm sure it'll cover everything. We got like everything
This also do help for the supply chain in logistics and
absolutely,
purchasing.
people are using it. Again, it's one of the prime thing in supply chain. They have started using it for pretty long time. Like it's there. Supply chain people use it. Warehouse and everything. People use Six Sigma.
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
Yeah. Any questions? Any other questions? We
Yes,
want to
sir.
pick up any more topic. Yeah.
I have a question, please.
Yeah.
The difference between the MAC and the MADIF. You said that the MAC is for existing process and the MADIF for new process, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. New product process.
Okay, but you said the D number 4 is design. But what we learn, it is also defined, same of the first one, but the first one is for the main goal, and the fourth D, the other defined is for the small objectives. Like for example, if you have a problem to make a player T-shirts, this will be in your D, but the number will be in the other D, the other defined. Is that okay, or there is a mistake there?
So I would sort of disagree with that, honestly. It's define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. So you define you define the problem, whatever the customer is looking for. You collect the data around whatever the customer is looking for. Around that, you do some statistical analysis to understand how can we meet those expectations, and you will try to kind of come up with various solutions, statistical solutions, alternative solutions which can work out, because not everything can be
Then
good.
you define the ways to meet this. So this is the other define comes.
The analyze part of it, you analyze various alternative solutions, because you cannot have one solution. What if it doesn't work? So in analyze part, we try to understand different perspectives, how the requirements of the customer can be analyzed. So you analyze it, and based on that analysis, whatever solution you figure out, you design that solution statistically, and statistically you check and verify, is that meeting what the expectation of the customer. If that's the case, then we have the product or service ready.
All right. Right. All right.
But yeah, I will be definitely. I'll be sharing some books. So I do have some other material that I'll be sharing with you also. I'm sure some of the stuff. This one. Let me see if I have it. Some book. Yeah, Six Sigma handbook is already there. Some case studies also. I think the Lean Guide is one good material which is on Lean Guide. So Lean case study, very good one. I'll keep sharing stuff like so. I'll keep sharing. I'll this not only this, a lot of material will keep coming as the time progresses. Yeah. Any more questions? We still.
He said. I remember it is defined, but to avoid confusion, change it to design because it originally is defined.
No, I will sort of. I will have difference of opinion there. Like any book, we may look refer to it has.
And the first design, the first define up is for the main goal. The number 4, the other D is also defined, but it's for the small objectives. No problem. Yours is better. Yours is better. Design is better. Actually.
Yeah. So somehow, so I have not heard about that, but yes, honestly, like the books and everything, you will just find design. So again, this is what because we practice this. I've worked on the DMAIC version. We worked on software development part of it. We designed everything statistically. So we did it. So pretty much that's what we end up doing. But yeah, I'm sorry.
All right.
Different ways of explaining the same thing could be there.
No problem. Thank you.
All right then. So yeah, I will be, as I said, I'll be sharing these notes with the IMC team and some the links to download the material. And let's then connect tomorrow at the same time. And like in case anyone has any questions or anything, please don't hesitate. We're on the group. Please do ping there. And like, so don't wait for something. If you have a question, please do ping on the WhatsApp group also.
Mr. Sashi, I'm not in a group, WhatsApp group. So
please reach out to the respective coordinator who would have enrolled you. That person will add you to the group, because I can see.
Is there any specific name of the group?
No, like I think there's a link where the name. What I think what I could recall is IMC something. So give me one quick second. I can quickly check. This group is IMC.
Batch
Okay.
23.
Batch 23. Thanks a
Yes.
lot. Yes, batch 2023. So we can like just reach out to your respective coordinator who must have enrolled you. They will be able to add you up in there. So again,
Thank
just not for this one. Going forward also, I will keep sharing links so that you can click on that link and it'll get downloaded. The transfer links. A lot of material can be shared. It's just about you should get into the habit of collecting good material because it'll help. It'll help from study perspective.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right then. Thanks everyone. Good night, and please take good care of yourself. And for people who are in the morning time zone, I'm sure you have a long day ahead of you. So good day for you.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.